All right, guys. Yeah, this is about to be another rant. Like, it seems like every time I do a Duel Links video, it turns into some form of a rant because it's all Duel Links makes me do is rant. And at that point, you're probably like, well, why do you play it? Because I love Yu-Gi-Oh! And it's been something I've been playing since it first came out in America. I love Yu-Gi-Oh! But Konami once again drops the ball. Konami once again fails horribly at giving us something worth our time. And right now, at the time of this recording, is an event going on called Duel Carnival. Duel Carnival is a PvP event. That's the first fail. Your special event should not be PvP because you already have PvP. The game lacks at the current state any kind of missions or content when it comes to the PvE component of Duel Links. You know, you're not there's no event going on where you unlock more characters. There's no event going on where you get newer and better cards. Yes, there's a short event going on with Odeon, but that's giving you basically the exact same cards you got from the previous Odeon event, with the exception of like one Monarch, which is actually new. But outside of that, this Dual Carnivals event is something no one actually wanted, because first and foremost, we wanted something new for 5Ds. And instead of giving us like Carly Carmine, which we wanted a Carly Carmine event that added another Dark Signer because you just added Colin like a month and a half ago. So we wanted another 5Ds event that adds Carly Carmine, but instead we get a 5D. I'm gonna use air quotes. We get a 5Ds event called Dual Carnivals. I use air quotes because it doesn't really involve 5Ds whatsoever. Dual Chronicles is a PvP event where Konami sets a buff for select types. The first week, the type was warrior, so all warrior decks got a buff and attack points, which meant that entire day everybody was playing 6 Sams. Awful. The next day, the buff was all machines get a buff, which meant everybody was playing Desperado Neos, Cyber Dark Neos, and in Ancient Gears. Awful. Then the next day after that, which is today, the event is Spellcasters. So it's not as bad, just a bunch of Dark Condition decks. It's not crazy. Dark Condition is not a strong enough deck in this game to make people irritated. It's whatever. But the problem is the first two, Warriors, Machines. The first 2 days of this event was just meta decks. And that's the problem. You can't have a PvP event where your meta is so unbalanced and broken. Because that's what it is right now. 6 Sams are broken. Cyberdark Neos is broken. Desperado is broken. And I'll make a video either before or after this. I don't know. It depends. Like I said, this video is being recorded on a Saturday, so I don't know which video you guys will see first. But there's another video coming out where I talk about Desperado and why it's unbalanced. So the issue with Konami is, I don't think they have a good sense of the Duel Links community. Either that or they don't want to treat Duel Links the way they treat the TCG. In the TCG, Konami's very fast. Not as fast as people will like, but they are fast when it comes to the limitation lists or ban lists. When something gets too strong and is causing a lot of issues in the game, like that, Konami gets to it. Now, with some people in TCG, they think Konami gets to it faster. But for the most part, at some point in time, Konami will get to it and neuter that deck. It has not happened in Duel Links. Blue Eyes is still incredibly strong. 6 Sams is still ridiculously strong. That deck, I just don't understand why Konami has not hit that deck. Do not tell me that hitting Dojo was them hitting that deck, because Dojo is irrelevant to that deck. For as long as you can play 3 dual wields, the deck is broken. For as long as you can play 3 Xians, that deck is broken. That deck has too much going on for it to where it should be allowed to be at the way it is. Because everything in that deck is crazy. Xian, Inishi, Dual Wield. Those 3 cards break that deck. And the problem with Duel Links right now is there's too many decks that have basically a board clearing effect. There's no balance here, because there's too many decks that have something that clears the entire board. Blue Eyes has Snipe Hunter. 6 Sams have both Inishi, Dual Wield, and Xian can nuke the back row, or at least prevent back row from being activated. dual wield and Inishi nukes the field. Even the Magnet Warriors got Valkyrion, not Valkyrion, Berserkion. Berserkion nukes the field. They just added Bandit Keith's new deck. Desperado nukes the field. There's too many decks out right now that targets cards and remove them off the field, that allow for too many OTKs in the game. In the TCG, Konami tries their best to prevent there being too many OTKs going around. Duel Links is all OTKs. There's a Gemini OTK in Duel Links. No, that's all Duel Links is. Duel Links isn't about anything other than who can build a deck. I want to say build. Who can copy a deck off Duel Links meta that OTKs. Because a lot of people in this community, they don't build their own decks. They just either they go to the deck list and see what someone posts there, and whatever the highest voted deck is there, they'll copy and paste it, or they'll go to Duel Links Meta's website, see what the top decks there are, and just use that, or they'll just watch a YouTube video and just use that deck. No one builds their own decks in this game, and everyone's just using whatever OTKs. Even when it comes to traps, most of the traps in this game aren't even used. Ones that are used are just Treacherous, Floodgate, and Wall of Destruction. Just those cards when it comes to trap cards, because again, they get rid of the field. Treacherous destroys 2 cards on the field. Wall of D takes away attack attack points from attacking monsters, basically making them useless. Floodgate flips a card face down, you can't flip it back up, makes it useless. Magic cards, the only magic cards used in this game, it's just the Magic cards Blue Eyes used, the Magic cards Six Sams used, the Red Eyes Fusion Magic cards, well, spell cards, I'm sorry, and then Econ and a World Legacy Clash. Outside of that, the spell cards in this game aren't being used. Majority of the cards in this game aren't being used because the only thing worth using is what the meta is. Blue Eyes, Six Sams, Ancient Gears. I'm not gonna say Magnus because Magnus is rarely used. But, there's still your Bell decks and Subterra. Subterra is a slow playing stall deck, basically. Even in this worst, even when you don't let the Subterras get their effects off, it's still just them just putting cards on the field, and basically the duels lasting 20 turns, 20, 30, however many turns it takes for someone to draw out their deck. It's crazy, and I feel like Konami just needs to start taking Duel Links serious and treat it the same way they treat the TCG. And that means start hitting decks. And I will literally make a video where I talk about what decks should be hit and which cards in those decks should be hit. Konami needs to stop with being nice to EX decks. I don't want to hear no excuses that people pay for those decks, so therefore they shouldn't nerf them. People pay for decks in real life in TCG. Yet there's no problem with nerfing cards in TCG. Duel Links be treated like TCG. There are no free cards in TCG. Everything's paid for. So if it's okay in TCG to neuter magicians, pendulum magicians, to neuter sky strikers, to neuter true Dracos, then in the Duel Links they should neuter the EX decks that are dominating the game. There's 2 free-to-play decks that are meta. Everything else that's meta is pay-to-win decks. Eliminate that. Yu-Gi-Oh! Itself is pay-to-win because everyone buys cards to TCG, everyone buys cards to Duel Links. But they shouldn't be the only decks worth using. They shouldn't be the strongest decks in the game. And you need to do things to balance out the field. This little Duel Carnival event, I'm not doing it. I'm not about to be doing both the PvP ladder for ranked and Duel Carnival. That's too much rank play. That's too much PvP play for me to care. Damn sure I'm about to sit here and just play against freaking Ancient Gears over and over and over again, because that's all the Machine Day was. I'm not gonna sit here and play against Six Sams over and over and over again, because that's what the Warriors thing was. It didn't make people freaking play other Warrior decks. It didn't make people play Noble Knights. It didn't make people start playing like Gaia. People didn't start playing, Destiny Heroes. They just put out Six Sams and just roll with that because it's an easy deck. Until you nerf Six Sams, it's going to be the same situation over and over again. Same thing when it comes to Ancient Gear. Same thing when it comes to Blue Eyes. Same thing when it comes to Subterra. Nerfing the little Numis and Umbra, nerfing their skills did do shit to Subterra. Subterra is still too strong. You need to actually hit the cards, not the skills, Konami. The cards. With all that said, guys, if you think you have much, will enjoy it. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.